So in this video, I'm going to step back and talk a little bit about the basics behind making this conversion. Basically, this is to illustrate how this EGP file works. So actually, this SAS EGP file is nothing but a zip file. So actually, we can open that using the standard zip software, it's like WinRAR, Unzip, whatever. Okay, so I'm just going to open it, and you can see that actually there is a project.xml at the root in the root directory, and then there are some subfolders. All right, so now I'm going to put on the left a SAS CGP file, which is corresponding to the same thing in the in the folder view here. So what I have is that in this file I have 1, 2, 3 programs, and then I have a bunch of other things. Like this one is called the EG task, which is a task to copy files. So there are other types like a note and a shortcut to files, which this time, so 2 shortcuts to external files, one to an Excel file, the other to a SAS program. So, and this is in one of the process flow. I also have another process flow in which I have more programs and nodes and whatever. Okay, so that's what I have here. So I'm going to highlight some of the things. For example, for this programs, it is called a code task. Okay, so this type of in SAS it is called an element, and I'd rather call it a component, because it's actually not only one element, it is a bunch of a collection of elements. So I'm going to call that component. So this is basically of the type of code task. Okay, and this is called EG task, and you can see that correspondingly, so like in this case, I have 1, 2, 3, right? I have 3 programs in one process flow. I have another program in another process flow. So totally I have 4 programs which are called code tasks. So I have 4 tasks here. So now let's go into pick up one of the program, which is this program 1 or P1. I don't know the code here because the code is behind that. I don't know that. But if you click into one of the folder, and you can see this code.sas. It is a standard SAS document, and if you view it, view this file, we'll see. No. Sorry, I cannot see the file because the file is already opened by the CGP. So I have to close the CGP file. Don't make any changes, and then I've got to view this file. Okay, so this one is indeed a program called PFD1. In PFD is the program 2. All right, so I'm going to leave it there and open that file again. So it is tricky. So for SAS, it doesn't matter whether or not the same file is opened by a zip file. But the other way around, if the file has already been opened by SAS, then it's locked, and other programs like zip files cannot open it. All right. Okay. So now I've seen that in this folder, actually this code file is the program 2, which is this file. Okay, so if I open that in SAS, you will see that the contents are exactly the same. I'm going to make it smaller. Okay, so these are exactly the same. Well, this is an example to show that actually, the programs are saved in these folders. And these are called embedded SAS code, which means that the code is embedded in the CGP file. In other cases, there are shortcut links to an external SAS code file. Like in this case, it is a shortcut. All right. So for a shortcut, if we right click and view the properties, you will see that actually it links to a file in this location. Okay. All right. So let's just go back, and if I right click and show an embedded program, you will see that this embedded button is grayed because the program is already embedded. However, for an external link, a shortcut to an external SAS file, if you go to this property, you will see that this embedded button is not grayed. Actually, you click that, you can copy the code and save that into the SAS SAS EGP file. All right, so all of these are controlled by SAS. So I'm just taking one example of that, which is the common one, which is called code task. So there are other types. For example, this one is called EG task. So actually, it is the same concept, but if you go into an EG task, you will see that. So it is not in SAS code, but instead it is in XML. All right, so what the SAS is going to do is somehow it is going to read the settings in this XML and run the SAS program. And then it's going to so it's just like you have a DNL or whatever. So that part is actually not run by SAS, but the language behind SAS. I don't know exactly what it is. It could be C++ or it could be Java. All right. So okay. So that's one type, and the other one is called the note. All right. So the note is another type, and another is a shortcut to files. Okay. So basically, these are the common types of that that you will have in a SAS file. By the way, so I just have an example of Excel file here. You can also have a PDF, Word doc, whatever, as long as you have an application in your operating system that can open this file that works. All right, so from this example, we can see that apart from the code task, not including this shortcut to the external SAS file, and the EG task, which is the XML code. So apart from these code, it seems that the rest of the things are controlled by this project.xml. All right, so I just simplified that. Actually, in reality, you might have more stuff like you have a log file. You have the you also have the you also have shortcut to data files, whatever. So some of them will also be embedded. For example, the log files for a task will be embedded here. So that is too complicated. So I'm going to just simplify that. So in my version, what you can have is that you, from the version 8 EGP file, you're going to have a clean version 7 EGP file without the shortcut links to the data, without the log. So I agree that these are sort of important, but I'm just going to leave them out because so that would be too complicated to use. And then if you really need that, you can always open that as a zip and go into this directories and pull out the stuff from there. All right, so this is the basic structure of an EGP file. So in the next video, I'm going to go into this project XML to illustrate the structures and also the difference between version 8 and version 7 EGP.